Stephen Hawking, the famous physicist from Cambridge University, has cancelled his visit to Israel.
The main conclusions were that there have been lots and lots of violations of international law by the Israeli government in complicity with the government of the United States.
We cannot stand by and watch the Israelis break international law with impunity.
Innocent children being killed.
Yeah.
And it makes me think about, please withdraw the settlements, please tear down the wall, please let's work for peace.
Some of us consider the rule of law to be one of the most important facts in all of our lives, not just the victims, but those of us who are not yet victims.
I just can't imagine how unbearable it must be to be a Palestinian living in Gaza, being invaded like this, and what have you, and seeing the children of your community lying dead in the sand. And this whole idea of acceptable risk. We accept the risk that we'll kill some civilians, but we're going to get our target, so it's okay. I don't buy that.
Have a look at a map of the way that Palestinian territories have been encroached upon since the establishment of the State of Israel. It's pretty harrowing.
Israel's transgressions in international law are well known. The seizure of Palestinian lands, the occupation of the West Bank and Gaza, the building of the wall, the destruction of homes, taking prisoners, children into Israel, disrupting every aspect of Palestinian life. The oppression of Palestinians is well known and is abhorrent, and it's illegal. And they break not only international law, they break the Geneva Convention.
The only way that we can have a positive impact is for the West not to provide military or financial assistance to either side.
There seems to be a turning tide in regards to how people are viewing this particular conflict and Israel's role in it, but yet there is still this sort of response when anyone speaks out that they are called anti-Semitic.
I know that I'm not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And I know, for me, this use of power, in the same way I would condemn American use of power.
And yet, the great international bodies, the United Nations, is powerless because of the American veto. No one is being held to account for the breaches in international law. And when the politicians of the world stand by and do nothing, and this illegality continues and the oppression continues, then I think civil society has to act. It's been said that for evil to triumph, good men and women will stay silent, and we have not to stay silent.
Stephen Hawking, the famous physicist from Cambridge University, has cancelled his visit to Israel, which was scheduled to take place in June of this year. Hawking was supposed to speak at the Israeli Presidential Conference, a public relations event for promoting Israel's prestige through high-level visitors.
BRICUP is the British Committee for the Universities of Palestine. We were set up to bring attention to the dire state of Palestinian higher education under occupation and under siege. I just wish they all showed the moral integrity of Stephen Hawking by going there propping up a discriminatory and repressive regime. And it's incumbent on all of us to bring attention to the daily crimes being committed by the Israeli state, which university staff and university as organisations are complicit in.
The last post that we put up on the Facebook was me announcing the fact that I was going to be a juror on the 4th Russell Tribunal on Palestine, which I did. And I expressed the hope that I would shed some light on the Israeli occupation of Palestine and the predicament of the Palestinian people. The main conclusions were that there have been lots and lots of violations of international law by the Israeli government in complicity with the government of the United States. The occupation of the West Bank, the imprisonment of the population of Gaza, the building of settlements in the occupied territories, and the moving of the population out of those territories to make space for settlements. This is against the law. victims of these violations have no recourse. Some of us consider the rule of law to be one of the most important facts in all of our lives, not just the victims, but those of us who are not yet victims.